In today's video I will show you how to fetch data from an API in native macOS application with AppKit and Cocoa and display it inside an NSTableview. So yeah, let's get started. So what first you have to do is just create a native macOS application with Swift and AppKit. Next, go to sign in and capabilities, and inside app sandbox make sure you tick mark the outgoing connection client. Yeah, that should be it. Next, I have created an API client, and here I am using that Rick and Morty API. So I have just created an API client. I have added this shared thing because I want to keep it as singleton, and here we will fetch data from Rick and Morty. So we just have to pass the URL, and from that you will just use URL session.shared.data, and from that you will get the data. Then we are just decoding our data. Once the data is decoded, we get it inside response, and we just send the results back to the user. And if I show you how the response looks like, so this is how the response looks like. So here you will get the results. That's why we are using dot results over here, and that's what mattered to us. And inside character we are getting ID, name, and all these things. We just want the name and URL, sorry, the image one. That's what I'm using. If you want, you can use the rest of the things as well. Okay, and this is the code for downloading image from an image URL using URL session. So this is the code for it. And if you see my output, this is how the output looks like. Okay, so one thing which I have noticed, if you are coming from iOS background, important thing to notice, if I go to my view controller, like there are different I would say columns in NSTableview which is not present in UI table view, and that's the reason why you have to do this kind of stuff. Okay, so I will just start from the very start. I am not using storyboard at all. First I will show you the custom table view cell. So what I have done is I am just extending NSTable cell view. I have just taken a text field which is a label, and a custom image view as well, and NS image view, and I'm just instantiating it. Okay, and adding it to our sub view. Then same thing, NS image view, and adding it as a sub view. Then I have added some layout constraints to our custom image view. Okay, and same thing for over here, and for text field over here as well. Next, what I'm doing is, if you go to our view controller, I am extending from NSTableview data source as well as delegate, and this would be our array from which we will get our entire data from the API, and this is our NSTableview. So I'm instantiating our NSTableview. Then header view is null, delegate and data source equal to self. And now this code is added because like there are by default in NSTableview there are multiple columns present, so that's why we have to do this kind of stuff. But in UI table view this is not the case. Next, you can't directly add table view to your view, so because table view is not directly scrollable, so you will have to use NS scroll view. But in iOS it is scrollable. So NS scroll view, then document view equal to table view, has vertical scroller, true or false, do whatever you want, and add it as a sub view. So the scroll view is added to our view, and the scroll view contains our table view. And here I have just defined a task which will download the data from an API, and once we get all the data, I'm just reloading our table view, and the number of rows is equal to characters.count. So you have to override this method as well as override this method as well. And here actually for this code I'm not really sure if this is the right way of doing things, because in iOS we are using something called DQ reusable cell, but I couldn't find this thing, like I couldn't make it work with NSTableview. That's why I'm instantiating every time this. I'm not sure if this is a good practice or not, so use it at your own risk. Next, we are getting particular character from the array, and here I'm just assigning those values. So here I'm just assigning the name, and here I am defining a task for image URL, because we need to download the image from the network, and once the image is downloaded I'm just displaying it inside our image view. Okay, then I'm returning the cell view, and here I have just, so this is also important, do define your height for row. So I have written 70 over here, but if you don't return it, like by default the row height is very small. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.